everybody. Welcome into a Tuesday. It is July the 8th, and I'm Chris Allen here on your 270 weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. All right. We had some more storms today, more heavy rain, and then a lot of it just kind of fizzled out, especially when it got to Bowling Green. I mean, there were a few showers, but it looked like this big area of just strong thunderstorms with just copious amounts of rain was headed right for Bowling Green this afternoon. And then it just went poof. Yeah, it did here. I mean, here in Plano, it was like, thunder, lightning, a little bit of rain, and then it just quit. Very strange, very odd, but I've seen it happen before. It just ran out of gas, I guess. It's just one of those weird things. As this has been one of the weirdest years of weather I have ever seen, and it continues to be pretty strange. Here's a look outside from the Plano Cam live here at 6:19 p.m. on this July the 8th, looking at a pretty sky. I mean, not more than an hour or two ago, it was dark. I mean, dark enough for some lights to come on outside. And then it rained, a little thunder, a little lightning. I thought, boy, it's going to cut loose. The way it looked, the way the sky looked, it looked like it was going to cut loose big time. But it really didn't do all that much. At least here in Plano, we picked up a little bit of rain, but not much. But now you can see a sunny sky, just a few alto cumulus clouds, and very little, if any, wind. And it's still muggy. That's the thing. After the rain, it is still terribly muggy. It's almost like a steam bath, the sauna effect. Boy, it's with us big time. Yuck. I just helped my wife get some groceries out of the car, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go back inside. You can haul the groceries in. I'll stay in here in the AC. No, I didn't. I didn't. Don't. Oh no, I know better. I helped out. Yes, I did. All right. Well, let's see. I really, and you can see down at the bottom with the scrolling forecast, there is not a day that's going to go by in the next 7 or more days that we are not going to see rain. I mean, it's every single day. As I've told you before, it was going to be, and that is still the case. We had a high today of 91 at the Bowling Green Airport, 1 degree above the normal of 90, and we had a low of 73. No rainfall officially at the Bowling Green Airport. But there were indeed, I live maybe 2 air miles from the airport, maybe close to 3. And we had rain here, but I guess it missed the airport rain gauge. I don't know. But it's showing 0. But some of you did pick up some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, which we'll take a look at. In fact, I can show you proof of where it did rain today by going to the radar. Now, I know to you, it looks like this is just one big old blob. But let me get in closer, do a little inspection here of what we're looking at. Let me zoom in. This is the Fort Campbell radar. Okay, so here's Fort Campbell right here. There's the radar center, which is just a little bit down from Pembroke along US 41 coming out of Hopkinsville. Okay, so I can move this over. Let's go to, you see some 1 inch amounts. And then all of a sudden you get into these purty colors. Look at them purty colors. And when you start to see the yellows, that's over 2.5 inches. Then when you start to see the reds, look at that. Radar estimated rainfall of over 3 inches just this afternoon with those thunderstorms that we saw approaching Bowling Green. Yeah, I mean, those things meant business. I mean, a dumping of rain. If all that hit the ground, it may or may not have. We don't know. Radar estimate. That's why we call it radar estimated rainfall. Now, here is across the border, Dover, Tennessee, right outside of Clarksville. And you see there 2.5 inches of rain. Okay. Then in the purples, you're talking about 1.5 inches up to Clarksville. Okay. Down toward Nashville. Yeah, they too had some heavy rain. 2.5 inches, maybe. Yeah, there's 2.5 right there. A little bit more than that. South of Ashland City in Cheatham County, Tennessee. Okay, but what about Bowling Green? Well, let's go up here. I'll need to change radars. I'll go to the radar site out of Nashville, and we get a different perspective on everything. So let's take a look. Here we are, Bowling Green. But this says it's an old image. Let me see if I can update that. Okay, 1 hour precipitation. Let me try 3 hour. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is a little better representation of what we had here. I think what I saw back there, it was telling me it was very old, like hours and hours old. But this is current. So Bowling Green, yeah, nothing really. It's showing maybe 0.05 of an inch. We'll call it a trace. There was a trace of rainfall here in Bowling Green. And here is where I live, right there. And it's showing maybe almost 1/10 of an inch. I would agree with that. But nothing at the airport, really. Now, it is south of town. Some of you got a really good deluge of rain, like between Bowling Green and, say, well, just east of Woodburn. Let me see here. There is it's hard to see, but there is the Warren Simpson County line. Here, this is 31W going through Woodburn and down to Franklin. This darker blue line is Interstate 65 going past Franklin and into Tennessee. So this is going to be over in the maybe a little bit of Barron County, maybe a little bit of Allen County. There's Scottsville. So right in that area, southern tip of Warren County, 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches, some heavier rain. And now we start to see 1.5 inches, a little bit further north, and then 1.63 right there. And that is on the Warren Simpson County line. Barron County's over here. Here's Allen County, Scottsville. So some of you south of Bowling Green really picked up some very heavy rainfall. But then after that, see how it just fizzled out? It just really just went, yep, I'm done. And it's done. It really is done for the time being. Let me show you the radar right now. This is how it looks. And I'll put it into motion. Yeah, you see decaying showers off from Campbellsville, Taylor County, up to about Danville in Boyle County. And then you have some decaying showers down here in Burkesville and Cumberland County. And then some showers that are just kind of meh back here in the western Kentucky. Everything else is gone. and we're just about to lose the daytime heating. So I don't think we're going to see much more in the way of activity popping up in the next few hours or even through tonight. Zooming out, you can see most everything is down in Tennessee or in southeastern Kentucky, right there along the southeastern corner and the Cumberland Plateau. But that's all. Not very much happening here. But I think we're going to get more of this kind of rain, potential for heavy rain and strong storms in the coming days, which I'll show you in just a moment. All right, let's go to the Kentucky Mesonet. Let me make sure that gets updated for you. Here at 6:29 p.m. on your Tuesday evening, temperatures are in the 80s. But look at all these 70s. This, of course, rain-cooled air from those thunderstorms. 78 right now at the Kentucky Mesonet thermometer that is near the Ag Expo Center. But it's 80 at the Corvette plant where that sensor is. The highs today, upper 80s to almost 90. Rainfall amounts, there you see. Most of it, as I showed you on radar, south of Bowling Green. Now, at the Ag Expo Center, 83/100ths of an inch of rain. At the Corvette plant, only 3/100ths of an inch. But look at this. Scottsville, Allen County, 1.22 inches of rain for the last 24 hours. Pretty good rainfall there. Look back here to Trigg County, Cadiz, 1.73. Just scant amounts, traces of rain around us for today. Right now, as I showed you, the winds are calm and they're mainly coming out of the south, and they have been all day at around 5 miles per hour. Moisture, high 70s. Yeah. I don't see any change. I don't really see any change coming anytime soon from this pattern that we seem to be stuck in. I mean, stuck. It's not changing. Doesn't want to change anytime soon. And here's why. We've got a stalling out of these weather patterns, the front to the north, little shortwave disturbances to the south. See that word right there? It says outflow. What formed today was an outflow boundary left over from yesterday's thunderstorms. It got heated up, then it just rained itself out. By the time it got to Bowling Green, it was done. It was done of everything that it was going to put out. It was just done. That's why we didn't get anything much here. Tonight, fairly quiet. It's going to be mainly dry. Stalled boundary to the north. It's not going much of anywhere the next few days. Some fog tonight where you see or where you saw rain today, mainly west of Bowling Green. There's the stalled boundary again. This is early Wednesday morning. Showers look to come back late tomorrow morning. Stalled boundary still to the west. Here's Wednesday afternoon. Daytime heating, more showers and thunderstorms, pretty good coverage. Then the coverage starts to die down a little as we get into the overnight hours Thursday. Here's Thursday afternoon, better, more numerous showers and thunderstorms. Here's Friday early morning, maybe a scattered shower. Saturday early, here comes the rain again. Here comes the rain again, falling off my head like a new emotion. Eurythmics, thank you. Sounded just like them. Here goes Sunday, showers and thunderstorms. Monday, here and there kind of stuff scattered. And then Tuesday. Now, Tuesday's data did not load here, but we could see more showers. In fact, I'm leaving it in the forecast. I don't see any change in this pattern at all. So that's why I said every single day has rain in the forecast. Now, will it rain all day, every day, the next 7 days or more? No. But the chance that you're going to get rained on is certainly there. It is the pattern that we're in, and it really doesn't look to change at all. This reminds me still of what we went through in the spring and mostly during the month of April. It was like this every day, except much harder rain than what you're seeing here. The blender showing, let me update. We'll start with Wednesday. There we go. 87 tomorrow. Low 90s into the weekend. And then a little bit warmer than the low 90s, maybe for a few days as we get into next week. But right there where we should be, 90 is our normal high temperature. And just about every number you see there is right there where it should be to take us into the middle of July. Now, I know many of you are wondering, when is it going to cool down? I showed something on the noon show today that it's, as of today, we're 76 days from fall, autumn, September 22nd. 76 days, 11 weeks. 11 weeks. Fall begins in 11 weeks. Can you comprehend that and what it means? I know. Flying by. And because it is flying by, you know what comes after fall? The winter. And you know what that means. You may need a generator. You knew I was going to go into it. You knew I was going to. Hey, our good sponsor, R&R Controls. Hey, I got to talk about those generators. They're moving them. Boy, you guys are, I'm telling you, you guys are taking them up on this stuff. And I love it because all I got to do is talk about it, and then they get phone calls. R&R Controls, the Conleys, great people who can not only handle getting you a generator from Generac, the number one name in generators, but they can also handle your heating and cooling. In fact, that's what they started over 40 years ago, back in 1985. That's all they did at the time. And then most recently, they got into generators from Generac, your authorized sales, service, and installation dealer. Most people think a generator is out of reach. I can't do it. Costs too much. You would be incorrect. There's a way, and the folks at R&R Controls will show you the way with financing for whatever size generator you need. And you know you need one. The way the weather's been behaving this year and the numerous times we've had power outages, and it doesn't matter if it's a storm or if it's winter weather or just the wind blowing. Sometimes it's just the wind blowing and you lose power. Generac. Call them. R&R Controls, 270-777-2024. That is 270-777-2024. R&R Controls, never be without. All right, there's your 7-day forecast as seen on News 40 and at WNKY.com and the News 40 weather app, which all of you by now should have. 88 tomorrow, 87 Thursday, 90s Friday and Saturday, then upper 80s, back to the low 90s, into the beginning of next week. Let's see here. Oh, Rod and Gale. We had high winds and 1 inch of rain in Halfway. Halfway is halfway between Bowling Green and Scottsville on 231. That's where Halfway, Kentucky is. So thank you, Rod and Gale. High winds and 1 inch of rain. Oh, okay. So there's a real report there of what happened today. Some of you got that, others didn't get a drop. It's the way it works. All right, you guys have a great Tuesday evening. Thanks as always for watching. God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow on News 40 Sunrise at 6 a.m. And I want you guys to, I don't feel like everybody knows that I switched from the evening weather to the morning weather. I just feel like some of you don't, that hasn't registered yet. But that happened a couple of months ago. So just like it was years ago in my first go around of television, I am back doing weather on TV in the mornings when you get up and when you get ready to go to work. And some of you, though, I know are not watching until it's time for the kids to go back to school, which is soon. Then you'll be watching. I get you. But at 6 o'clock every morning, I am on WNKY 40 with News 40 Sunrise live. So watch. It's fun. It's me and Ashley Wilson, who is just Miss Personality of Bowling Green, and it is fun. It is entertaining. It is certainly better than anything else. I'm trying to be nice, that you can watch on television at that time. If you've watched me before, you know how it's going to be. All right. We have fun. And we're going to keep it fun. We're going to make it worth watching in the mornings. Everybody tells me, and I read the trades and I read these things, and they say, TV's dead. Nobody watches TV anymore. They stream. Well, okay, stream it. We got all kinds of streams. Stream it. If you don't have the antenna or the cable or however you're picking us up, you may be just streaming it off the internet, which is fine. Do that. But we'd appreciate you watching. And if you did not know that that is happening, I apologize because I probably haven't said it enough. So, WNKY, Channel 40, weekday mornings, 6 a.m., News 40 Sunrise. I will know if you're not watching tomorrow. I will know, and I will come for... No, I won't. All right, you guys. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching 270 Weather. And for those of you that do watch News 40, thank you so much. Have a great evening. God bless you. And I